Hello, I'm Jash, and welcome back to Jash Reads, the series where I read a book cover to cover and discuss it chapter by chapter. And I also build stuff in Minecraft, and today we are continuing Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. And I'm giving my character now Clippy's head. Trying to find goddamn something that doesn't instantly crash. Let's see. Something Hork-like. I think I should just have one avatar for dramatic readings. Aviator, because he flies. So for every one of you who is utterly confused at what's going on, what happened was the game crashed the Xbox, so yeah, maybe I just need to like move slowly. I didn't get any system crashes for Shoreham Grove, but I was doing peaceful survival, so. But yeah, we're reading Animorphs number 13 and starting to build a lovely village. Because you see those cherry trees? They speak to me. And they tell me, build something. And let's hope that when I actually get to the dramatic reading portion of this dramatic reading, it doesn't crash, because that's going to be that's something I haven't had to worry about all this time. Like a game crash, it's going to be a little awkward, sure, but system crash means I'll have to start a new video, new stream, so yeah. Let's like... Now, I am going to... On Twitch, I am going to publish the crash stream, but I'm not going to export it to YouTube, so after like a week, that will go. Just a little building took place, but besides that, yeah, so you're not really missing much, so. Maybe this needs a little small, so maybe we need to have it multi-story, like maybe 2 stories. Like this is going to be the big living quarters for everyone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that marker here for where I want a floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, it's only been 5 minutes. Besides the former one that crashed. Let's get to the little well-lit place. Oh, God, I meant to put torches down here. My bad. Let's just go overboard with torches because why not? Let's you know, let's just live a little. Oh, that's where the west is. Let's wait till this sun sets. So let me also go over the lighting on my Kindle. I'm reading the Kindle version of the book. I do have the physical editions of probably all but like 1 or 2 of the series, but I'm not reading from those because I got them when they first came out, and they first came out from 1996 to 2001, so you know, they've seen things. And I've managed to save them through my moves. And they've switched boxes, I think maybe once, twice, maybe like 3 times. Yeah. I love the series. You know, I wouldn't honestly be continuing doing these dramatic readings if I just hated it, because with the severe vertigo and I can't get them out as quickly as I used to, yeah. This is a labor of love. Love. God damn it. But depending on how my streaming schedule is when Silent Hill Forte comes out, I might, you know, be playing that game in place of the dramatic readings, but I've been like going over, you know, plans for a little bit, so. Okay. Oh, this looks like I'm leader of some goddamn cult here. Oh, bow to me! Light's still on me. Okay. Well, goofy as hell, but maybe it was the mask I was wearing that crashed the system, because that mask was too fucking cool. But anyways, okay, let's get started on the dramatic reading portion, and we're going to continue reading Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate, and just the audio in my ear here. And oh god. And God, I have to turn the not the volume off, the brightness up. Let's see. Let's see, maybe I need to do it one more time. This sun here actually is starting to set, so that's fucking things up on my end. Okay, yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, this is good. Okay, let's continue reading Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate, and today we will be covering chapter 25, and then we'll let you out, Danny. We waited till Visher 3 and the rest of the Yeerks, human, Hork-Bajir, and Taxxons, left. Then we crawled back up onto the lip of the ravine. We morphed back, and once we were all together again, we headed off across the land the Yeerks had burned. We knew we had to be quick. The Forest Service firefighters would be showing up soon, even though the fire had mostly just burned itself out. We found the valley, the lovely little valley the Elmist had shown me. I knew what to look for, otherwise I'd never have noticed it. I was a good puppet for the Elmist. I had done my job well. Not that I regretted that part of it. I could never be sorry for helping anyone escape Yeerk slavery. But I was once more a red-tailed hawk, and so I would remain. The entrance to the valley was so narrow, the Hork-Bajir could barely fit between the rock walls. It was like some amazing bandit hideout from an old Western movie. Jake said, "You know, I wonder if this valley even existed before." "You think maybe the Elmist created it?" I asked. Jake shrugged. "Could be. It's awfully convenient." I let it drop. I didn't really want to discuss the Elmist. He'd lied to me. He hadn't given me back my humanity. This was a good moment for the Hork-Bajir. I wasn't going to spoil it by being selfish. While the others squeezed through the narrow gap in the rocks, I caught a beautiful warm updraft and went up and over. Even from the air, you might not notice the valley unless you were really looking for it. From high up, it just looks like a particularly dense ribbon of trees. Not until I dropped down through the branches did I see the shallow lake surrounded by sandy shores. Trees of every type and description were there. Berry bushes ringed a small sunny meadow. The meadow I'd seen in my mind. To tell you the truth, that little meadow would have been heaven for a red-tailed hawk. A sweet territory for a bird of prey. I flew back to meet the others as they came into the valley. They were all standing around gaping. "It's beautiful," Cassie breathed. Are we there?" Jerahami asked me. "Yes, this is the place." "Good place," Ked Halpak said. "Good place for Kawatnaj." "What?" Jake asked, puzzled. I heard them use that word before. Jerahami, what does Kawatnaj mean? Jerahami and Ked Halpak laughed their strange Hork-Bajir laugh. Kawatnaj, small Hork-Bajir, small Jerahami, small Ked Halpak. Children, Rachel translated. They're going to have little baby Hork-Bajir. They will be the first Hork-Bajir born into freedom in a very long time, Axe said. The Elmist did not lie. The valley exists. No, he didn't lie, I said. Not about this, anyway. Well, let's just take our clothes off, Marco said briskly. You know the rules. In the Garden of Eden, you don't wear clothes. Rachel, you can start. Garden of Eden? Jerahami echoed. that is this place? Not unless you want to change your name to Adam, Marco said. I was just joking, big guy. But look, I have to know. How do you tell a male Hork-Bajir from a female? Shirahami looked puzzled. Male? Female? What meaning? Go ahead, Marco. Explain. Cassie teased. But Ket Hallpack understood. Shirahami and Ket Hallpack different. Shirahami have 3 here. She pointed at her horn blades. Ket have 2. That's the only difference? Marco asked. Other difference too, Ket Hallpack said primly. Why did I fucking think it was primly? Okay, let's start that over again. Hello, Pig, for joining us. Yo. Hey, you're walking over here now? Nice. Yeah, show us that ass, I guess. Yes, I'm judging you. Okay, I'll continue. Anyways. Other difference too, Ket Hallpack said primly. But only for Hork-Bajir to know. That got a laugh, even from Axe, which just puzzled the Hork-Bajir even more. Everyone stayed for a little while. I cannot read. These last few paragraphs are just taking it all out of me for some reason. Okay, let's start that again. I swear I can read. I have a BA in English with a specialization in creative writing. If there's one thing I can do, it's read. Theoretically. Anyways, let's start that again. Everyone stayed for a little while. Then they all left. All but the 2 Hork-Bajir and me. I stayed to help the Hork-Bajir survey their new home. I found caves where they could spend cold nights, and explained to them that they could never leave the valley, not until Earth was rid of the Yeerks. Then I flew home to my own meadow, my own territory. The Hork-Bajir had their Eden. The others all had their homes. I had my meadow. And that is it. Not for the entire book, of course. There's, I believe, 2 more chapters left, but for that chapter, we ended on such a happy note. Yay, we saved the Hork-Bajir. Yay, we brought them to the valley. No, yay, I have angst. One thing that pops up to me is when Marco asks about gender differences, sexual dimorphism, sexual differences between the 2 sexes of Hork-Bajir. Shirahami is like, what? And then Ket is actually able to answer. So, like, without Ket's reply, it would seem like they have no sense of gender. But with Ket's reply, it seems much more likely it's just a translation issue. No, they understand the breeding process, the mating process there, because they talk about kids. So they would need to know they would need to know that there are differences, what they are, knowing what partner would make child would make it easy. The Hork-Bajir would have to know which one could get pregnant so that they could partner correctly to have children. I myself am non-binary, so I like to jump on it. I have to be careful not to jump on things that aren't really, you know, non-binary in nature. I have to go, oh, this is what they meant. Yeah, Scholastic definitely would not have let, you know, Kay Applegate and Michael Grant, the people who made Animorphs, release a book series that had a non-binary aliens like that. Like, cannibalism and self-cannibalism, that's fine, but you know, think of the children. You can and this chapter definitely shows that it was intended for a younger audience, because you noticed they're feeling free of talking about children, free about talking how you can tell men and women Hork-Bajir by the number of the horns on their heads, but they don't mention dicks or vaginas. At most, Cat goes, difference is only for Hork-Bajir to know. And for people over 18, which this reader base is not. Yeah, I'm sure. Like some race that is very simple. Not just going, oh yeah, he sticks this in me, and I have baby Hork-Bajir in a couple months. Like, there's definitely, I think, realistically not going to be shame from a race just, you know, being out and about that, so. But, you know, this was written for a younger audience, so there has to be limits, you know? There's limits there. Hilarious. Like, we go through all this morbid stuff in this series, but, you know, the dicks and vaginas on a Hork-Bajir, we can't talk about that. No, no, no. Like, trust me, with all the shit that goes on in this series, and we've gotten a little taste of it currently, but trust me, there's gonna be a lot more shit going on. I would not be that traumatized by learning about Hork-Bajir genitalia. I love my angsty hawk boy here. He's feeling all disappointed about, I'm still a hawk, I can't be a human ever again. But I can't make this everyone else's problem, so I'm gonna mope in secret. Honestly, figuring out his tone, figuring out, you know, how to honestly just read him this chapter was a little bit of a feat, so I hope I did a decent job. Okay. Anyways. Max is like, the Elmis didn't lie. And Tobias is like, yeah, I guess he didn't lie about this shit, but, you know, I'm still a hawk. No bit of humanity on me at all. Let's see, what else can we talk about? What else really happened? Nothing really happened in a chapter. It's also said when Tobias mentions everyone staying, and you know, then they left, and he just left alone with the Hork-Bajir, and as he goes back to his meadow, he's just like everyone else has a home. Like, the Hork-Bajir now have this great paradise. And then everyone else gets to be normal and have a bed. I'm just lonely in this mountain. I mean, also, even though the Hork-Bajir are far from home, and they have to stay in this hidden valley. Oh my god. This is... How many bits could feels? I think we're going to enlarge this a little bit. And then if we want something up on that floor too, yeah, we are definitely going to have to expand this. No, I think we're just going to have to keep it as is, honestly. We can have, like, maybe we can expand that top floor. So this is just like a little mean ground, and then all the beds on the top floor, and then we can have little houses for, you know, around different pens and such in different areas. I think that's what the best option to do from here is. But anyways, when Tobias goes back to his meadow, and you know, he's obviously not at home, his original home, and the Hork-Bajir home planet isn't Earth, so it's not like the Hork-Bajir are going home either, but at the same time, the Hork-Bajir have each other. Wait, if we're going to expand. While Tobias, when he goes back to his meadow, he's alone. He has no one else like him. He doesn't have family or friends. You know, I mean, the closest there is Axe, but you know, he's is somewhere else in the woods, not in the meadow either. Whew, lovely little emo hawk. Okay, I think that's all I can really discuss about the chapter this time around. Because again, you're just hovering there, ain't you? So we're going to get to the links. If you're watching this live on Twitch, do not worry. I will add the links shortly after the stream, so yay! And a little warning about the links. Some of the links are Amazon associate links, so if you buy a product via that link, you will also be helping to support me, so yay! So let me look at what the first linky link is. And that is, of course, link to buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. Again, Animorphs is hands down probably my favorite book series of all time. It holds up well as reading as an adult, so that really makes me happy. You know, because I forgot about Animorphs for a little bit, and then I was like, hey, I'm going to just start reading them again, and hopefully it's not a disappointment. And they hold up so well. So yeah, if you do like my dramatic readings, you know, I would highly suggest checking the book series out. And oh, I just remembered, please, no major spoilers in the comments section. I am hoping against hope that people actually get into the Animorphs series via these dramatic readings. So there are some big things that happen that, you know, first-time readers should not be warned about. Just part of the experience. Let's see. Okay. Definitely have more than enough beds. Okay, yeah. It's overcompensating. Because this is a good village. They deserve all the best. So, also, you know, like, subscribe, yada 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 yada. Okay, and now to the next link. To my Twitter. I am Jashikins on Twitter, and if you want to talk all day and night about Animorphs, you know, that's the place to go. Now, the no spoilers thing is something I only do for these dramatic readings. Elsewhere, I just talk spoilers freely because this series has been going on. You know, ran from 96 to 2001. there were some reprints of the first 8 books for, just updating them so, the younger audience can understand what some things are being said. God. But, 1, 2. Oh, this is going to be huge. What have I done? But the series has just been out for a while, so it's sort of run the course of oh shit, didn't mean to do that. No, actually. Let's see this. I do not understand what I'm doing now. But yeah, basically Animorphs has been out for a long time, so it's run the course of, oh, we need to keep silent about this because think of, spoiling people. So the no spoilers thing is something I do for the dramatic reading and nowhere else. But I also love a bunch of other nerdy things, so I just... Oh, I make it so. Something just seems... I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Taking the turn, I just want to... Yep. Maybe the sides will be shorter than that there. Maybe that one. Oh, we won't know till we try, so... Oh yeah, the next link. Oh, sorry for brushing against the mic. Again. Let's see. The next link is to my Patreon. And my Patreon helps support these dramatic readings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm going to be trimming the fat from there. And besides the dramatic readings, it also helps support all my other streams, as well as the books I'm releasing and every odd thing I'm doing on my blog. And you can of course join as a Patreon for free. And the $1 tier, the $1 tier used to be, you get to see my Redbubble designs before anyone else, but the thing is, Redbubble suspended my account and I do not know why. It could be because they think I'm 16 years old and just not old enough to do Redbubble. I'm 38, by the way. I was born in 86, so not a spring chicken, I'll tell you that. My body definitely does not feel like a spring chicken. Or it could be they think I stole artwork and sold it as my own. When listen, I love my artwork, I love what I do, but if I was going to steal artwork, I would honestly do someone a lot better because I like what I do, but yeah. So I have, depending what happens with the Redbubble account, I'm not going to be using it as I used to. So the $1 tier is now changed to exclusive designs. So now it's not just seeing something early, it's seeing and having something that not just anyone can. And each of those posts, you can either pay $5 or you can join the $1 tier for $5 a month, for $1 a month. So, I'm currently working on getting, let's see, what's my first Sacred Chickens design collection up. Sacred Chickens say hold up. So, yeah. I'm also getting a little more active on DeviantArt just so I can get more up-to-date artwork out there so you can, see that. And I'm also Jashikins on DeviantArt. That's not a link I have on this video. No. Let's see, and the $5 tier remains as is, with you get to see my covers before, my Kafka's Men covers before anyone else. And the cover reveals are also where I do the title reveals, so yay! And sorry about the issue with Redbubble, but what was really weird about the issue with Redbubble is that the day they suspended my account was the same day after months, they finally approved one of my designs. So I'm like, I'm on top of the world, yay! I didn't think that would ever happen. And then it's like suspension. I was like, so I just have this little belief, conspiracy theory going that that design is what caused things. But I can't know until they say something. It sounds like crazy talk, honestly, so yeah. And last but not least, the final countdown, the final link is to my original book series, Kafka's Men. It is a slow-burning reverse harem series. So if you like your slow burns going slower than a glacier, you will love this series. If you like, morally gray characters, like dark romance, you're going to love this series. Give me attention, please. that was weird. Little black spot there. Let's see. What else? I'm currently working on the 9th book in the series. And it's not as... For those worried, it is not going to be as dark as the 8th book. I'm not going to give you too... Well, maybe I am later, but the 9th book isn't going to be the point where I just up the angst. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to finish working on this floor, because this is a floor. And then I'm going to, maybe I'll prep for the roof for next time, but yeah, that's not going to be this time. Yeah, those are the links. Please check them all out, especially my original book series, because I am really working hard on it, and I haven't really had any feedback. So basically right now I'm going in blind. Like, oh, so far I've only had a rating on one book in the series, and that is the 4th book, A Date with the Devil. So, it got 4 stars, so, apparently I'm doing something right, but, I'd like... a little more feedback there. And if you ever get a copy of one of my books in a free promotion, after you read it, feel free to leave a review. Yeah, I'm trying to find this, because this is... There's honestly enough spaces. Definitely cram a bunch of people here. And again, if not, I can always make other small little houses. Not as big as fancy as this. I was finally able to get my ice cream, just because I've been dying for ice cream for a while, so that was nice. It's the simple things. If I can position myself to go in between there. Ah, boink. I'm sorry, Tobias. I just had to. Now I think for a fancy dancy main building, we're going to have glass. Also pink theme. But that will be for another stream. Take a few screenshots. we go. And thank you everyone who watched this stream that put up with the Xbox crashing. And until next time, whenever that may be, goodbye.